Hello and welcome. It is part 4 of our 12-part business program. So guys, sales fundamentals are really important to future-proof your business. Before we get into the sales fundamentals, let's understand what future-proof means. Because really, at the end of the day, you want to build a business that is sustainable, that will give you the lifestyle that you really want, give you the opportunity to spend time with your children, to travel, to work freely. And all of these things are based on a foundation. And what is that foundation? Is making sure that business comes in. And how do we make sure that? Sales. If you have no sales, how are you going to do business? All right, so we need to make sure that you have a leads machine, that you have the sales machine going. So that all you have to do is close the deal. And we bring the business into us, so we attract that business. And if we apply these 5 sales fundamentals, we'll future-proof our business, meaning that we're not going to be part of that 9 out of 10 statistic. That statistic we spoke about where 9 out of 10 businesses fail? We don't want to be part of that. And one of the main reasons is understanding positioning, which we did cover in one of our previous parts. The other cornerstone of this is sales. Now, today we're touching briefly on one portion of sales, which is sales fundamentals. And trust me, I can go on forever about sales. It's my absolute favorite topic. I'm so passionate about it. And in fact, I can do 6-7 parts just on sales. So today we're going to chat about sales fundamentals and how, if we implement this, it will absolutely help us future-proof our business to make sure that we build a legacy, that our business is here for generations to come. If that's what you want. Let's get stuck right into it, shall we? All right. So, now you can see my screen. Alrighty. We're going to chat about the 5 sales fundamentals to future-proof your business. The first thing is to know your crowd. You absolutely have to know who are you selling to. Who is your target market? Now, there's many terms that you can use. You can say your buyer persona, your client avatar, your target market, your ideal client. All of these basically mean the same thing. So we need to ask ourselves, what will make them buy? What's the emotional trigger to get them to buy? If it is something like a bottle of water, will I buy the bottle of water because it's a bottle of water? Or will I buy the bottle of water because I'm really thirsty and I want to quench my thirst? Okay, where does your crowd hang out? So where's your target market? And by this we mean online and offline. Offline, would it be newspapers that they're reading, magazines that they're reading, billboards? Would it be absolutely beneficial to your business to have your car wrapped with your branding and contact details? If they're online, where would we find them? What social media platform? Will it be through email marketing? If we do outreach to our target market, we want to make sure that it's impactful and that we convert them from a visitor into a buyer. So if we've identified that they hang out on LinkedIn, why do they hang out on LinkedIn? If we know that our crowd is on Facebook, why are they there? Out of interest, if we understand the psychology, the mindset of where our crowd is, it will also make things so much easier. For example, if your crowd is on Facebook, don't you think that their mindset will be more of a social mindset, that they might be more in browsing mode, just checking things out, seeing what everyone's up to, what's available? Whereas if they're on LinkedIn, they might be more in business mode. So their mindset is more of, I want to buy, I want to engage with, I want to partner up with, I want to hire your services. And so we need to make sure that the content that we share on the social media platforms is as native and organic to that particular platform as possible. So, and what I'm saying is, don't just share your content across all your social media platforms and, okay, it's out, I'm done. It's out there, it's on the social media, people can see that I'm active. Don't do that. Rather than, if you want to, select a particular platform that you absolutely know will convert the buyer, your visitor, into being a paying client. And spend your time there. Really get to understand the algorithm at that particular social media platform. Understand what converts, what will grab their attention. Because remember, your prospective client, he's scrolling on his phone or she's scrolling on her phone, going through the feed. What will make them stop and go, I want to read this post. Okay, so it's crowded out there, guys. It really is. And we need to make sure that we grab the attention of the person that we want as the ideal client. All right. What words or phrases would they respond to? So again, it's not just a matter of sharing content, We want to make sure that what we put out there is relatable for them, that is relevant for them, that it is something that they want to read. Whether the piece that you're sharing is educational, it's informative, obviously it has to have a call to action. We'll discuss that now. But make sure that what you're sharing will grab their attention. It is a crowded market space. How do you stand out from the rest? Okay, so we need to absolutely make sure that what we share, a word, a phrase, also is a trigger point. Like the emotional triggers, is what is that one word that will make your prospective buyer stop and read your post? What will trigger in them to say, oh, this person's speaking to my pain. This person understands exactly the frustration that I'm going through. I really need to take note of this post and reach out. We discussed color, the color palette that's particular to every target market, also in one of our parts of this particular series. And I really hope that you've gone and done the homework on color research, your color palettes that is perfect for your ideal market. And I'll use the example of women between the ages of 35 and 43 are more responsive to the color purple. So now we're looking at not just the image that you're using in your post, not just the words or the headline or the hashtags, but the color that you're using. Whether it's color text over the image that you've used or particular image with that particular color. Remember, guys, everything that we're doing has to evoke some form of emotion, because it's a journey that we take in a prospective client on before we sign them up as a client. So how do we make them feel? If we make them feel comforted, secure, that they can trust us, surely then they will continue on this path with us. So everything that we are sharing with them is part of the journey. All the content that you're putting out there gives out trust factors. It's trust signals for them to say, yes, we want to absolutely engage with your business. We want to enter into a partnership and we want to hire your services. Again, the images that you use on your social media posts, your blog posts, the kind of video content that you put out, the words that you use, what emotions do they trigger? What feelings do they evoke? What colors are you using? All very important to help convert that visitor, that prospective client, into a buyer, into a paying client. All right, what is their pain? If we understand what their frustration is, here's their frustration, here's the solution, your solution, and you marry the two. Beautiful. Then you have a sustainable relationship. You have a sustainable business. Then you are absolutely future-proofing your business, because we don't want to have a hit-and-run scenario. We want to make sure that all the effort that we've put into bringing this person on board as a client, that they stay as a client. Okay, then something else that's also very important is that we use call to actions. And the call to actions really is, it could be anything. It could be, if you read the social media post, click on this link. Right, once I've clicked on this link, I want you to complete this form. Or I want you to download my ebook. Or I want you to chat online with one of my agents. There must always be a call to action in everything that you share. Whether it's, again, video content, a blog post, a static social media post, there needs to be a call to action. You need to take that person's hand and lead them onto the path of where you want to take them. So you want to move them from visitor to interested to paying client. And you need to tell them what to do. We live in a society now where we don't necessarily want to just think for ourselves. We want to be told what to do. And the easier that you make it, the better. So hold that prospective client's hand. Tell them what you want them to do. Tell them that you want them to click on this link. You want them to complete this form. You want them to pick up the phone and to call you. Or you want them to tell you to pick up the phone and to call them. All right. So it really is that. It's as simple as that. And I say simple. Yes, there's a lot of hard graft in between all of this. It's putting the right content out, make sure that it converts. But don't miss subtle things like call to actions. Because again, we need to tell them where we want them to go next, what we want them to do next. And the easier we make that, the easier it is to bring them on board as a client. The next sales fundamental that we're going to talk about is knowing your product or service. So you really have to know, what are you selling? Yes, you started this business. It might have been out of passion. It might have been out of need. Whatever the basis was for you starting your business, you absolutely have to know what it is that you're selling. And it's not just a product. It's not just a service. It's so much more than that. It's a 3-dimensional, 4-dimensional thing that you're offering to your prospective client. So you absolutely have to know, what is the problem that you're solving? What is their pain? If you understand their frustration, the pain that they're going through, and you can remove that irritation, you can remove that frustration from their life, wonderful. Then they're going to sit up and take note of you. That's exactly what you want them to do. You also need to know, how does your product or service become part of their life? How can they incorporate or implement what you're selling to make their lives easier? And part of that would be, how do you onboard your client? So we need to make sure that the journey for them is pleasant, they have this great experience, they evoke this wonderful emotion in them, and that along this path that we take them, that they always feel that we have their best interests at heart, that we always want to bring value to them, and that we show them that by taking our service on, our product on, that this is how we're going to help alleviate their pain, their problem. And this is how simple it is, Mr. Customer, to incorporate my solution into your business. So that there's no disruption, that it's seamless, that it's streamlined, and that the day-to-days can go on as normal. What is that 0 to 1? Again, so we spoke about call to actions and we spoke about incorporating your product or service. Make that 0 to 1 as small as possible. And what we mean is that initial outreach of them touching your brand, of them getting to know you and experience you, to bringing your product on board or your service on board. Make that process as simple and seamless as possible. So the 0 to 1 should always be a very small bridge. We don't want them to jump through too many hoops. We don't want them to say to them, Mr. Customer, we want you to click here. They want you to click there, we want you to click here. Then complete this form. Then we want you to jump through this hoop and that hoop. No. Let's make it as quick as possible. For example, if you have e-commerce, so you have a shop on your website, you want them to select their product or service, go to cart, checkout, and enter the card details, the shipping details, and that's it. We don't want to prolong that process. We don't want to make it agonizing for them. Make that 0 to 1 as easy and seamless as possible. Remember, that 0 to 1, as much as you shorten it, means that they will then refer you to other people. Because, again, how did I feel when I engaged with your brand? You made me feel so good. You made the process so easy. I found it such a seamless, easy thing to bring it into my life, to bring it into my business. And you want them, your client, which is now your brand ambassador, to shout it from the rooftops. Tell everyone how absolutely easy it is to incorporate your service or product into their business. Then we need to ask ourselves, is your solution a onesie or is it a recurring solution? Now remember, onesies, and I call it onesies, means it's a once-off sale. And you're going to work so much harder because instead of now selling only 10 items, you need to sell 20 items. You need to sell 30 items to make up the cash flow that you need to run your business. And you need to know your numbers, guys. You need to know where's your break-even point. You need to know what are your expenses, your fixed expenses, your variable expenses. You need to know where is the point that you start making profit. And if you go back to your lean canvas, we did that in part 1 of this series, you'll understand and you'll know your numbers a bit better. If it's a onesie, if it's a once-off sale, you're going to have to sell X amount to make up that part, to make sure that you're running a profitable business. Again, that's future-proofing your business. It means that you're making sure that you have a sustainable business, that you're building a legacy. If it's a recurring product or service, something that can be sold many times, or your customer keeps coming back on a monthly basis, man, that's an ideal spot to be, because it really does make your sales process so much easier. The hard part has been done. The sales has been done. So now you have this client, there's one client that keeps on coming back. So you know that for the next 6 months or whatever the case is, that they're going to keep on buying your product or service. Whereas on the other side with your onesie sale, you're going to have to spend a lot more time bringing a lot more clients on board for these onesies. Whereas with the recurring side, it's going to be that much easier. It's going to make your life far simpler. It's going to make your 0 to 1 easier, isn't it? Our next sales fundamental, relationship building. I cannot emphasize this enough. We are all human and we want to buy from humans. We don't want to have this robotic response. And you know, we have been blinded to a point. We have been numbed to a point with this constant onslaught of information on social media, email marketing, and emails in our inbox. Where's the human behind all of this? We want to buy from people. We are people. We want a person to speak with us. And that's why it's so important to automate a portion of your sales process. But you need to bring the human factor back into it. And it's fine if you build your leads machine to be automated to a point. That's great. And in fact, that's exactly what we want. But then you need to bring the human back in. Whether it's yourself as the selling CEO, the selling business owner, or if you have a sales agent that can assist you with this. We want to hear that voice. We want to hear that authenticity. We want to bring that person back into the sales process. So I love this term, H to H, human to human, because it's such a fundamental part of sales, isn't it? It's so different now from what it used to be back then. Back then, sales was different. It was a lot more hard pushing. Get the sale, move on to the next one. Now we want to first build a relationship. We want to engage with this person. We want to see your brand at least 8 times. We're going to do our own online research. You know, referrals are great, yes, and we don't want to not have referrals, but you cannot build your business on referrals only. So we need to make sure that your prospective client, your target market, your client avatar, your buyer persona, whatever it is that you want to call them, engages with you online, offline. That every time you post something, that it adds value, that they want to read it, that they stop scrolling through their feed and they read what you have to say. That's the start of building your relationship. But then, once this person has engaged with your brand 8 times, we want to pick up the phone. We want to meet in person. We want to meet for that cup of coffee. We want to make sure that we can engage with them in an authentic manner. And, you know, again, we want to automate our sales process as far as we can, but we want to bring the human factor back in. We want to make sure that, and again, you know, for me, it's all about how do you make me feel? On my customer journey, on this experience of engaging with your brand, how do you make me feel? Because if you make me feel great, I want to continue engaging with your brand. And the only way to really get that, to maximize that, is through authenticity. You can outsource your content writing. You can outsource your social media. You can outsource the scheduling of your social media. You can outsource your blog writing. But at the end of the day, we still want to see you. We want to hear you. We want to see the face, the person behind this brand. Guys, something else, please. When you set up your website, your About Us page, tell us more about you. We want to hear and see you. And when I say hear, when I read the content on your website, I want to hear your voice come through. So that when you pick up the phone and you speak with me, I'm related to you, I'm relatable, because your voice is very much resonating with the content that you're putting out. All right, so we want to make sure that we are relevant to our market and that we are relatable. So make sure that you're authentic and that your voice comes through. Always, always, always add value. And we are talking about sales here, but also bring value to your team. Remember, if you take care of your team will take care of your clients, which means your clients will stay with you, which means you're future-proof in your business. Always bring value. With anything that you do, everything that you share, make sure that you educate your crowd, that you share informative pieces, that you become the go-to person when it comes to your particular industry. Always bring value. Very important. And then make it about them. We don't want it to be about us, obviously. You want to make sure that the journey that you place your prospective buyer on is about them. That you understand their frustration, you understand their pain, you understand what they are going through and how your solution will take that all away. Like a magic wand. All right, so it's not about you. Yes, it's about you, but it's not about you. Make sure that you always make your client, prospective buyer, feel that you have their best interests at heart. And the same with your team. Make sure that your team is taken care of. Again, guys, if you take care of your in-house stuff, your housekeeping, that will automatically fold over into your clientele. You'll bring on nice quality clients and they will stay with you. Always bring value. Always. Our next sales fundamental that we're going to talk about is establish authority. Now, the term has been bandied about a lot. Thought leadership. You want to be the go-to person. You want to be the thought leader. But let's take it a step further. Let's make you the authority in your space. So that is, for me, a bigger step. It's a much bigger step than thought leader and authority. So not only are you an authority here, but you're an authority here. Not only are you an authority in a geographic location, but you could be an authority in the country. Not only in your industry, but in so many other different avenues and different aspects. Now, how do we establish you as an authority? It's so important that you know your world inside out. Guys, you have to continue mind feed daily, if not daily, weekly, 2-3 times a week, mind feed. Absorb information, read, listen to podcasts, watch videos. Go and learn as much as you can about your industry, about your prospective clients, about the product or service that you're offering. The better you know your world inside and out, the easier it is to do sales. Yes, because we're still talking about sales here, as sales fundamentals. All of these things form part of sales. And if you think about it, you're doing sales daily in any case, aren't you? So make sure that you really, really understand your world inside out. It's so important. So, so important. Because the more clarity you have on what you're doing, what you're offering, it's so much easier for your prospective client to buy into you, to buy into your culture and your vision, to become part of your business. Be ahead of the game. Be 5 years ahead of the game. Be 3 years ahead of the game. Be a visionary. See into the future. Know the market trends, know where the industry is going, so that you can tell that yes, blogs are great now, but videos are next. And we are there already, absolutely. So video content is where you want to be, because videos convert more than static posts. And if you were ahead of the game, you would have known this. That 2 years ago, 2 years ahead, video would be the next content piece that would convert. So what will convert in your space in the next 2 years? Where's your market going? What are the market trends saying to you? What is the market saying to you? What are your clients saying to you for you to say, right, I need to start pivoting and shaping my business so that I can future-proof it and be in the game still in 2 years' time. Guys, do not become complacent. Do not become, oh, this is easy. I've got sales coming in. I've got referrals. Everything is cool. No. You need to continuously work at making this work. So you need to make sure that you're ahead of the game in all aspects, and it's up to you. No one's going to stand over you cracking that whip and saying, come, we've got to do that mind feed this week. We've got to make sure that we're ahead of the trend. No, it's entirely up to you. And this all forms part of establishing yourself as an authority. So much more content that you can consume to establish yourself as an authority will only stand you in good stead. Then you become the go-to person, isn't it? And when you become the go-to person, it means if you're known in the industry to be a water supplier or hiking gear, or you offer the best accounting consulting services, that if I need something in that realm, I'm going to go and hunt you down on the internet and I'm going to go find out what you have to say about that particular thing. Because you're now the go-to person. So you should be ahead of your crowd. You should be the one feeding your industry the information for them to go, okay, Sally knows what she's talking about. Steve knows what he's talking about. So when it comes to that kind of thing, I'm going to go find you. I'm going to go see what you have to say. I'm going to go read what you have written on this particular topic because you are the go-to person. So it's so important that you stay ahead of the game, isn't it? And then let them hunt you. So we want to make sure that whatever you put out there draws in your clientele, that you pull them towards you, that it's a pull sale, not a push sale. That's a topic for another time, and we can really delve into that. But pull sales versus push sales. So we want to make sure that we pull them in, that we draw them in, that the content that we put out there is so informative, that it's so enriching, it's empowering, that I see you, my perception of you is that of an authority. So I will make sure that I can find you. I will hunt you down because I want to hear, see, read what you have to say about whatever it is that's relevant to your particular industry, because I need your product or service in my business. Be the authority. Don't be the thought leader. Be the authority in your space. Close the deal. You know what? You spend so much time getting this business. You spend so much time building your sales funnel. You spend so much money with marketing, getting your brand out there. Close the deal. Ask for the sale. It's as simple as that. Ask for the sale. And you know what? Manage the objections before they arise. Manage the objection. If you know that in your industry you get these 5 objections all the time, and it's the 5 same objections, build an infographic. Get someone who's creative, who understands infographics, give them information, and let them build an infographic for you. Send it to your prospective client. So before they've even thought of any objections of why they cannot do business with you, you've managed it. Here's the infographic. This is your objection. This is how we're going to handle it. Let's move on. All right, so make sure that you handle those objections before they come to the fore. Handle rejection. We're going to be rejected. We're going to get rejected. There's going to be rejection in sales. Man, there's rejection in life. Deal with it. Move on. So I want you to see rejection as a very positive thing. That is, okay, I didn't get this deal. I was rejected. That's fine. I got a no. Awesome. Yes, awesome. Because it means I'm that much closer to my yes. So take it, whatever. How many no's? If it's 99 no's, because the 100th one is going to be a yes. Know it. And you know what? You're going to build resilience. This is going to help future-proof your business because like a ship on the ocean, there's going to be weather. There's going to be weather. There's going to be storms. And you need to weather the storm. You need to be that stable, consistent, constant person in the industry. So, I don't want any excuses about the economy, recession, whatever. Now's the time to really make money. Now's the time to grow your business. If you can ask any successful person who's dealt with recessions, where they made the most money, it's during recession time. Why? because everyone else stops their marketing. They stop doing any form of business during recession because, oh, it's a recession. No. Now's the time for you to go out and step out of your comfort zone and really, really nail it during this time because your competitors aren't doing it. Great. So then you're seen as the only person in your particular industry, your niche, your space, that's the authority. So we want to do business with you because you are seen and your competitors are not. Ask for a reason on why they cannot do business with you. So you've gone in, you presented your proposal, you've done your presentation, you've handled objections. Ask your prospective client, is there a reason why we cannot do business together? Is there a reason why we cannot close the deal today? Well, one thing's for sure, you're going to throw them off their chair because it's going to be an unexpected question. And when they think about it, there's going to be nothing for them to say that you cannot do business together. So there aren't any objections. And if there is, manage it right there in the meeting. If it's budget related, contract related, time related, manage it. There's always a solution for everything. Nothing is impossible. Everything is possible. Ask for the sale. Ask why can we not do business together? Is there a reason, Mr. Customer, why we cannot close this deal right now? Why we cannot sign off the paperwork and let's move forward? Even ask, when can we deliver? Once you've done your sales conversation, you've done your presentation, be forthright and say, so when can we deliver? Be cheeky. Sometimes cheekiness pays off. Why? Because no one else is doing it. And if you're the person to do it, you get the deal. Remember, if you don't ask, you don't get. So while others are not asking, you ask and you can get. Close the deal. Ask for the sale. If you walk into a sales meeting, whether it's digital or in person, with the right intention, you'll get the business. If the person is the right culture to match your business, they share your vision, and they see the value that you bring, close the deal. There's absolutely no reason why you shouldn't be able to close the deal. And be overly confident. Live yourself in that space. Get the deal. Honestly, you spend so much time, so much effort, so much energy putting everything together, doing research, putting a proposal together, doing the marketing, phone calls, meetings, whatever the case is, demos. Get the deal. Ask for the deal. It's as simple as that. Coffee's for closers. You're a closer. You just don't know it. Live in that space. Have the right intention. Get your mind space right. You can do this. Guys, if you want to future-proof your business, you have to implement your sales fundamentals. And honestly, you're probably doing most of it already. So see it in the right light and let's get those deals going. It's as easy as that. All right, so I, as you can see, can carry on forever about this sales topic because I love sales. I really do. And probably because the fundamental part of it is people. I love engaging with people. I love understanding the buying signals, the psychology behind the whole sales conversation. Your takeaway from this session should be continuity. Put out the right content. Set yourself as the authority in your space. Make sure that you have all the components of your business in the right place. Make sure you have the right team. Make sure that you go out with the right intention, that you bring value to your prospective client all the time, that you really understand who is your prospective client. Close the deal. Ask for the deal. Handle objections before they arise. Because at the end of the day, if you don't ask the question of why can we not do business together, you'll never know. You'll walk away from that sales meeting and not get the deal. But if you ask that question, even if the answer is no, we're not going to do the business, guess what? It's a great business lesson. Because you're going to walk away with information that you didn't have previously, that you can now implement in your sales process, in your business, to make your business better, to make your sales process better. Always ask the question. Ask for the deal. Sales fundamentals, my guys, my friends. Sales fundamentals. You're doing it daily in any case. So see it in the right light. Mind feed daily. Make sure that you're ahead of the game. Get the deal. Grow the business. Make sure that you leave the right legacy. Thank you so much, and I look forward to next week. Cheers.